I'm here today to know that I tried to do something by bringing awareness rather than sit by and do nothing. I encourage everyone to get involved.
Parents speak out at the St. Johns County School Board meeting Tuesday night after multiple schools in the northern part of the county had incidents involving fighting, violent attacks, or threats. Amy Cherry has more on our lead story.
The schools involved include Fruit Cove and Switzerland Point Middle Schools, where fights occurred, and Bartram Trail and Creekside High Schools, where threats were written on bathroom walls. In the high school incidents, arrests were made. But parents of middle school students say enough is enough.
Swiss Point has a horrible bully situation. It is terrible. I pulled my daughter out, I put her in virtual, and now my daughter's being bullied by a teacher.
One of the reasons you can't retain teachers is that you allow toxic administrators to remain in their position.
My kid has been bullied.
March 8th, my daughter's life was threatened by a 15-year-old 8th grader at Fruit Cove Middle. The threats were made both on text message and by video.
Kids shouldn't be afraid to be the snitch when they're being harassed and when they're being bullied. Put some kind of policy in place. When bullying starts happening, it needs to be addressed, and it needs to be addressed with a lead foot. Period.
The district says there have been 10 fights at Fruit Cove just this year, and they've handled all incidents of bullying according to the Student Code of Conduct, but they'll look at what preventative resources may be available.
This local news is a service of your hometown Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota US 1 St. Augustine, here to wow you. Northeast Florida students are getting access to daily mental health support through a text-based service.
Jennifer Wills is the network partnership and expansion lead for Flagler Health Plus and describes how to access the Cope Note program via the department's Be Resilient and Voice Emotions initiative.
If you go to our Instagram at brave.mentalhealth, there is a post that gives people directions to access on Cope Notes /redeem, and the code is BRAVE. And what this does is this gives them access to this texting system that Johnny Crowder developed, the founder of Cope Notes. What it is it's a texting system that interrupts negative thought patterns.
The program is expanding to schools across the state.
It's been a rough couple of years. We know that the pandemic has kind of thrown everybody for a loop. So youth need more support now than ever. Recent CDC studies that were released demonstrated just how much our youth are suffering, and we have got to help them. So the texting program is not only for schools, like I just wanted to preface that because we know that, not to access social media in schools and all of that. This texting process is for any time, so it's not just for schools.
It's not only for students.
We are making it available to all students, family, really anyone. We're opening it up to the public because we are entrenched in the health of the community. So this is open to anyone that needs it.
For St. Augustine's Local Morning News, I'm Rich Petchke.
St. Johns County Commissioner Henry Dean talks with Liz Ryan about his recent battle with stage 4 lymphoma.
He told me how he first knew something was wrong.
We're on radio, not TV, so I'm pointing to my chin. Last summer, there started growing a little lump. So, lights went off. This isn't right.
First he had a biopsy, then an MRI.
The doctor looked at it and said, this is lymphoma. And so in mid-October, they did a full biopsy of the lump. And yes, I had non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. They put the port in my chest, and I started chemotherapy treatment in mid-November.
He sailed through chemotherapy without any major side effects. He described the treatment room at the Mayo Clinic in Jacksonville.
It has a lazy boy. It has a TV. My wife, Melanie, was there feeding me snacks. I told the doctor, I said, to tell you the truth, I really haven't had any problems. In fact, I consider it sort of going to a day spa. And he laughed and said, oh, you mean a chemo spa?
A PET scan in April resulted in good news.
The doctor said, well, Henry, you're in complete remission.
He told me what the nurses did when he went out to the lobby to ring that bell after his last chemo treatment.
They all came out to watch me ring the bell, and it was getting a little choked up, a little touching.
He credits his strong spirit of perseverance to his upbringing.
My mother had a lot of influence on me, and her advice as a tough old Iowa farm girl and then a nurse in World War II. Now remember, Henry, it's not how big your problems are in life, it's how you solve them.
I asked him if he was glad that he kept a full head of hair.
At 75, I really don't spend a lot of time worrying about either my hair or my looks. Maybe I did 50 years ago. I was pretty good looking 50 years ago, to tell you the truth, but that's a whole nother story.
For St. Augustine's Local Morning News, I'm Liz Ryan.
And now you're up to date with St. Augustine's Local Morning News. I'm Rich Carroll.